Okay guys, this is my 1995 Geo tracker, and I did a video the other day on trying to find out what was wrong with my air conditioner because it's been blowing hot air. I'm gonna put a link in the back. You guys can go check it out at the end of the video as to my other video talking about trying to figure out what the heck's going on with my air conditioner. But I had a guy come over the other day, and this guy really knows a lot and about cars, so it was a pleasure having him over. And he checked a few things first, man. He checked to see, so I cranked up the car, and he checked to see if my compressor was coming on, which I knew my compressor wasn't coming on. And I was thinking it wasn't coming on because the fan wasn't spinning fast enough across the condenser, AC condenser, I think that's what it's called. So that's why I was thinking that everything was jacked up, or I didn't have any Freon in my system, and I learned what that little window right there is for. But it's good to have people around you that know about how to work on cars, man. But so anyway, check this first before you bring your car in to the AC place so they could possibly get a little more money out of you. So this wire right here that comes off of the compressor, see if you can see a little better at this angle. This wire right here comes off that compressor. And typically what people do when they get a new compressor, they just plug it in right there. Well, I took this in last year, and the guy put Freon in. He said, oh, this little switch, this little clip right here was a little loose. So he plugged it in. I went down the road. I had AC for a month or so. Not really cold, but it was blowing. And then it stopped, and I figured, oh well, I must have a leak in my AC line. And that's why I was thinking, you know, it was that, because the guy had already looked at this little connection. Well, my friend come over and knew about cars. He checked that, and he had to actually go inside this little connector here and bend some of the metal in there so that when you put it together, it, you know, makes a good connection. He did that. Bam, I already had cold air. He checked the Freon. He told me that in order to get this correct, he could put a little more Freon in it, but for it to read right, for this right here to read right, this is what he put it on, checked it. For this to read correctly, 100%, that fan needs to be blowing across the condenser. And then after we swap the fan out, he'll check it again, the Freon. We'll put a little more in it, and I should be down the road. So, to make a long story short, guys, always check your compressor to make sure it's coming on by this little wire, man. It's an easy little thing to see if you're getting continuity right here. If you're not getting continuity, then the problem's here. I'm even thinking about maybe even cutting this switch. If I have another problem with it, cutting the switch and splicing the wires together and actually soldering them and put some shrink wrap on it and be done with it and call it a freaking day. But anyway, I got a new fan. It came in, and partsgeek.com had this, and it's the original. I mean, you know, it's a substitute. There you go. Got myself. It's an OEM aftermarket, but it looks just like the one in there. It was $68, and I can't wait to get after this. But I do want to ask you guys a question. So I was gonna take off the grill and take off this front piece right here. This is what he suggested doing, taking this front piece off right here. There's these bolts up on top. I don't know how many. and then I don't know how many underneath this grill, but take this piece off. That way we can get all right to the front of the car. Let me know if you guys go about this as far as to put a new fan in front of your condenser. Now, I went down to the automotive store, y'all. Let me tell you something, man. Sometimes, anyway, I bought a fan. It was the wrong fan, but they swore down there it was the right fan. But they told me if it didn't fit, I could bring it back. Well, I get it here. My guy comes over and he says, well, it's the right physical size fan, but the fan that they sold you is a pull fan. In other words, it pulls air through. So in other words, the fan was supposed to be on this side of the radiator to pull air through. He said, you need a push fan. And that's what this is. And that's what this is. So it pushes the air through the condenser and past the radiator and whatnot. So anyway, I got the right part. I'm stoked. I'm happy. Hit that subscribe button. And if you like anything to do with Geo Trackers, hit the subscribe button, man, because we're always working on things, and I'm always letting you in on what's going on with my vehicle, so that perhaps if you have the same vehicle, it can help you out down the road. So hit that subscribe, man, and we will see you guys later.